Proactive versus reactive. To be effective in a proactive approach, one must have a certain capability to foresee the future. This is a feat rarely accomplished by most, and when it does happen, it often stands as a coincidence or mere chance. We inhabit a world teeming with possibilities, probabilities, and unpredictable circumstances. Within such an environment, proactive actions might succeed only on the scale equivalent to a lottery win. It's a high-stakes game where the odds are more often against us than in our favor. Moreover, proactive actions can frequently lead to squandering of resources. This approach requires investments, time, money, effort, without any guarantee of payoff. The truth of the matter is, we operate within a sphere of complex and uncertain dynamics. Attempting to drive outcomes can sometimes be as wasteful as throwing seeds on a barren land, hoping for a lush crop. We must be cautious with our proactive endeavors, balancing optimism with reality, to ensure that our efforts do not turn into fruitless pursuits. In the face of numerous words of wisdom advocating for proactive behavior, it's crucial to acknowledge that a swift and effective reaction can hold more value than any proactive actions. In an unpredictable world, our well-crafted plans often succeed by pure chance, reinforcing the fact that what we have prepared for has truly come to pass. The emphasis on a proactive approach sometimes underplays the significant role that adaptability and quick response play in navigating the real world. Further, the virtue of reactivity is in its inherent adaptability. Unlike a proactive approach, where actions are cast in advance often based on assumptions, a reactive stance allows us to respond in real time, based on the actual unfolding of events. It grants us the ability to navigate the sea of life with agility, adjusting our sails as per the direction of the wind, rather than stubbornly sticking to a pre-charted course that may no longer be relevant. Reactivity, when combined with strategic thinking and resilience, can often lead to better outcomes than proactivity, which, in its blind anticipation, may just be betting on a roll of dice. If proactive actions demand no significant investments, and the event we are preparing for is highly probable or seemingly inevitable, then, of course, it would be prudent to undertake such proactive measures. When the odds are stacked in favor of a particular outcome, taking steps to prepare for it can be a sensible way to maneuver through the impending circumstances. Consider a tech startup, gearing up to secure their market position against an imminent competitor. In anticipation, they deploy a substantial portion of their budget into a comprehensive marketing campaign. However, the competitor's product launch gets indefinitely delayed, rendering the startup's campaign urgency irrelevant. The resources invested in the proactive defense strategy are thus dissipated without tangible gain, resulting in a drain on their limited reserves. In another scenario, envision a pharmaceutical company engaging in intensive research to find a cure for a specific rare disease. Despite their focused efforts, they don't achieve the intended breakthrough. However, quite serendipitously, their research leads to a promising treatment for an entirely different health condition. The eventual success of their endeavor is not an outcome of their proactive planning but a happy coincidence, illustrating how outcomes can sometimes have little correlation with initial intentions. Finally, let's picture a retail business forecasting holiday trends and proactively amassing a large inventory of what they believe will be the season's hottest product. Unfortunately, consumer preferences veer in a different direction, leaving the company saddled with a surplus of unsold stock. Here, the business's proactive attempt at market prediction not only fails but also results in a significant financial setback. Through these examples, we see the complexities inherent in proactive strategies. While the ability to anticipate and prepare for the future is valuable, there is an inherent risk involved, underscoring the importance of also cultivating responsive strategies that allow for adaptability in an unpredictable world. However, in the majority of situations, it might be wiser to limit oneself to drafting schematic plans for various potential outcomes. These plans often serve more to alleviate our anxieties than they do to provide actual utility. The truth is, many scenarios we fret over may never come to pass, and the energy and resources spent in their anticipation might be better invested elsewhere. The peace of mind that comes with preparedness, though, can be valuable in its own right, allowing us to face the unknown with a steadier hand and a calmer mind. Take, for instance, a technology firm that took a leap of faith by sinking substantial resources into the research and development of an avant-garde software. The marketplace had yet to express demand for such a product, and this proactive measure carried the risk of catastrophic failure if the software didn't align with consumer needs. Against the odds, their forward-thinking approach hit the mark, and the software sparked a revolution in the industry. This gave the firm a significant competitive advantage, turning a potential misstep into a masterstroke. Consider, next, an adventurous investor who chose to proactively allocate a large share of their portfolio to an emerging and largely unproven market. The potential for major losses was significant if the market failed to take off. However, fortune favored the bold, and the market prospered, resulting in the investor reaping considerable rewards thanks to their early involvement. Lastly, envision a film production company making the audacious choice to approve a high-budget movie featuring a relatively unknown cast, in contrast to the standard practice of casting renowned stars. The risk was evident: audience indifference could have led to a box office flop. But the movie struck a chord, becoming a phenomenal hit, launching the cast into fame, and solidifying the company's reputation for spotting and nurturing new talent. These scenarios illustrate the high-stakes gamble of proactive strategies. They inherently involve considerable risks, yet they also hold the potential for impressive rewards. It's crucial to recognize that being proactive requires thoughtful risk assessment and a readiness to adapt, especially when outcomes veer off the projected path. Predictability is indeed a valuable gift in a world that is so often in flux. It is the unexpected occurrences that tend to cost us the most, both emotionally and materially. This is particularly true when we've expended significant resources on proactive actions against a situation that never materializes. These moments leave us standing in a field of preparation with no battle to fight, resources depleted, and a sense of missed opportunity lingering in the air. Expenditures on a phantom future can lead to wasted potential that could have been better utilized in responding to the present. The unpredictability of life makes a compelling argument for a balance of proactive and reactive stances. While it is vital to prepare for what we can foresee, it's equally important to be agile and capable of reacting to what we can't. The key lies in discerning which approach is most suitable in a given circumstance, understanding that sometimes the future we plan for is not the one that greets us. In reality, even with a crystal ball in hand, we may miss crucial subtleties that can drastically shift the outcome of events. As we focus on the micro elements often sneak in and change the entire game. It's these nuances that surprise us, reminding us that life doesn't always adhere to our blueprints. Thus, the capability to adapt in real time, to respond to changes as they occur, rather than solely preparing for a predicted future, is a skill of invaluable worth. By being reactive as well as proactive, we allow ourselves the flexibility to handle the unexpected twists and turns that define our human experience. The ability to react quickly and efficiently, including having resources earmarked for such responses, is often superior to the resources spent on proactive actions. These actions often prepare us for scenarios that may never unfold or, if they do, occur in ways we did not anticipate. It's like building a boat for a storm that never arrives or arrives as a wildfire. The resources spent on the boat would be better invested in general disaster preparedness, capable of handling a range of emergencies. This perspective doesn't undermine the importance of foresight but rather highlights the limitations of over-preparation for specific outcomes. Our energy, time, and resources can sometimes be better spent on cultivating resilience, flexibility, and readiness to respond to whatever comes our way. By doing so, we increase our capacity to handle a multitude of scenarios rather than over-preparing for one potential future that may never manifest, or may arrive in a guise we didn't expect. Balancing proactive preparation with reactive readiness allows us to navigate the unpredictable sea of life with greater agility and effectiveness. There are situations where proactive behavior isn't just advisable but is absolutely necessary. These typically involve cases of high predictability and substantial potential impact. Consider the case of a looming natural disaster, such as a hurricane. Given our ability to predict these events with reasonable accuracy, it is critical to be proactive, evacuating at-risk populations, stocking emergency supplies, and securing infrastructure. Here, a failure to act proactively can lead to significant loss of life and property. The benefits of proactive measures, in terms of lives saved and damage minimized, far outweigh the costs. Another example can be found in the field of preventive healthcare. By conducting regular health checkups, individuals can proactively manage their health and catch potential diseases in the early stages. Failing to act proactively in this scenario can lead to serious health conditions becoming advanced and significantly harder to treat. Finally, consider cybersecurity in an age when digital threats are prevalent and constantly evolving. Companies must adopt a proactive approach by regularly updating their software, monitoring for threats, and educating employees about potential security risks. If businesses only react to cyber threats once they've occurred, the fallout can be catastrophic, including data breaches, financial loss, and damage to reputation. In these scenarios, the stakes are high, the threats are predictable, and the consequences of inaction can be devastating. Proactive behavior, therefore, is not just beneficial but an absolute necessity. In the discourse of being proactive versus reactive, it becomes evident that neither approach is universally superior or a one-size-fits-all solution. Instead, a balanced combination of both strategies is most effective in navigating the complexities of our unpredictable world. On the one hand, proactive behavior is instrumental in scenarios where there is a high degree of predictability and the potential for substantial impact. By anticipating and preparing for future events, we can mitigate risks, seize opportunities, and prevent avoidable hardships. However, it's important to note that being overly proactive can lead to wasted resources and unnecessary anxiety, particularly in situations where the outcomes are uncertain or the efforts premature. On the other hand, reactive behavior, often discounted as merely a response to circumstances, is equally crucial. Our capacity to respond effectively to unforeseen circumstances, to adapt and innovate in the face of challenges, is invaluable. Moreover, in a rapidly evolving environment, the ability to react and pivot can often be more strategic than sticking to a well-laid but outdated plan. The ability to turn adversity into advantage is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. Instead of allowing negative circumstances to undermine us, we can transform them into stepping stones toward success. Viewing circumstances from this perspective isn't mere reactivity. It's a proactive reshaping of circumstances, turning potential setbacks into unique strengths. This demands creative thinking that transcends conventional wisdom, or as the saying goes, thinking outside the box. To bring this concept to life, consider a business encountering a public relations mishap that causes a negative public perception. Instead of panicking, the company decides to proactively leverage the situation. They transparently admit their mistake, publicly address the issue, and take measures to prevent similar incidents in the future. As a result, they turn a potential disaster into an opportunity to build trust with their customers, showcasing their commitment to accountability and continuous improvement. This demonstrates that regardless of whether we're faced with a negative or positive scenario, there's always potential to extract value from it. The key is not merely to respond to the situation, but to look beyond the immediate circumstances and find creative ways to turn obstacles into opportunities. Consider the following illustrations of this concept in action. In the field of product development, negative feedback from initial product testing can be viewed as a setback. However, a proactive company might use this criticism to their advantage. By listening carefully to their consumers, the company can adapt their product to better meet user needs and preferences, ultimately creating a stronger, more successful product. Another example can be seen in the world of sports. Suppose an athlete suffers a major injury, a seemingly disastrous circumstance that sidelines them for several months. Rather than letting this experience defeat them, the athlete proactively uses this time off the field to strengthen their mental game, work on strategies, and gain a new perspective on their sport. When they return to competition, they're not just recovered but significantly improved. Lastly, consider a startup company that launches into a market already dominated by established brands. They face numerous challenges and setbacks in gaining a foothold. But instead of viewing their newcomer status as a disadvantage, they leverage it. They take risks established brands won't, innovate rapidly, and carve out a niche for themselves. In each of these instances, we see how proactive thinking can reshape difficulties into opportunities, proving that sometimes, the most difficult circumstances can create the most meaningful progress. Embracing innovation instead of avoiding it is a crucial tenet of both proactive and reactive behavior. Our world is continually evolving, with novel ideas and technologies, such as artificial intelligence, becoming integral parts of our everyday lives. Rather than shying away from these advancements, we should be eager to explore them, learn from them, and understand how they can be used to improve various aspects of our personal and professional lives. However, it is crucial to implement this approach methodically. First, one should experiment on a smaller scale, venturing into new territories cautiously to understand the potential benefits and drawbacks. This could involve pilot projects or small-scale trials to test the efficacy of these innovations. Only when the benefits are clearly seen and understood should these innovations be applied on a larger scale. This approach allows us to take measured risks, ensuring that we are not merely jumping on the bandwagon of the latest trend, but making informed decisions that bring real value and progression. In the fast-paced world of technological innovation, a small software firm finds itself standing at the dawn of artificial intelligence, AI. Recognizing the transformative potential of AI, they decide to take the leap and introduce it into their own business processes. However, in a clever move, they do not immediately revamp their entire operation. Instead, they choose to integrate AI into selective parts of their products, testing the waters through a series of small-scale pilot projects. This approach provides them with invaluable insights into the advantages and risks associated with AI, without exposing their entire business to these uncertainties. Once they validate AI's tangible benefits and ascertain that the gains far outweigh the risks, They broaden the application of AI across their operations, ultimately boosting the overall efficiency and competitiveness of their products. Similarly, an educational institution, keen to leverage the burgeoning field of digital learning, decides not to shy away from technological innovation. Instead of an abrupt transition, the institution implements a gradual shift towards a blended learning approach. They test these new educational technologies with a small group of classes, keenly observing their impact on student engagement and learning outcomes. The success of this experimental phase provides the confidence to introduce and scale these digital tools across a wider range of classes, thereby progressively transforming their educational delivery method. Lastly, consider a healthcare provider surveying the emergent landscape of telemedicine. They understand that embracing this innovation could significantly enhance patient accessibility to medical consultations. But rather than a wholesale transition to a digital platform, they tread cautiously, starting with a small set of non-emergency services. As they gauge the response and evaluate patient satisfaction levels, they slowly but steadily expand their telemedicine services, making healthcare more accessible and efficient for a larger patient base. These examples aptly demonstrate the wisdom of embracing innovation in a methodical manner, showing the merits of initiating smaller-scale experiments and scaling up once the clear benefits become evident. Such an approach reduces risk, ensures optimal resource allocation, and lays the groundwork for sustainable success. Consistent self-evaluation is of paramount importance in any sphere of activity. Such scrutiny requires us to continually question the true motives driving our actions, the efficiency of our processes, and the outcomes they yield. This continuous introspection helps us stay in tune with our operations, shedding light on areas of strength and revealing aspects that need improvement. But crucially, it's about balance and maintaining a degree of skepticism towards our own findings. Our conclusions should inform and guide us but not impulsively dictate a radical course change. Unfortunately, even the most thoughtful and meticulous analysis isn't immune to errors. We might falter on a macro level, misinterpreting larger patterns and trends, or we could err on a micro level, missing vital details that might have significant implications. Whether it's a strategy that doesn't translate into expected outcomes or a well-thought-out project plan that unexpectedly hits a snag, mistakes are a part of the learning process. It's vital to recognize that perfection isn't the goal, continuous learning and improvement are. We learn, we iterate, and we move forward, better prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. There's an undeniable aspect to decision-making that doesn't strictly align with the measurable, tangible outcomes. Certain actions may not bring about directly quantifiable results but are indispensable for boosting team morale or bolstering a leader's confidence. These actions, often disregarded in a strictly results-oriented evaluation, play a crucial role in shaping the collective spirit and overall performance of a group. Hence, they should not be dismissed merely because their effects are not immediately discernible or directly attributable to specific results. On another note, a psychological examination of any process is vital, and even the exploration of biological bases of motivation can be beneficial. However, we need to beware of oversimplifying and reducing the complexities of human motives and relationships. A simplified model that might be fundamentally flawed, yet provides accurate predictions and positive outcomes, can be more effective than an intricate model that is inherently accurate but fails to offer precise forecasts. It is in these gray areas, these contradictions and counterintuitive elements, that we begin to see the more nuanced layers of decision-making, far beyond the clear-cut realms of proactive or reactive stances. In conclusion, the key to success lies in striking a balance, being proactive when the situation allows for it, while also developing the agility to react and adapt when the unexpected occurs. It's about foreseeing and shaping the future but also being prepared to respond to whatever that future holds.